One.
I'll let you talk.
Boom. Peg,
Boom.
Welcome back here. Good Tuesday afternoon to you. Good morning, wherever you guys may be calling in from. We are so blessed and so honored to have Peggy Simpson back with us today. Peggy, how's your day starting out?
It's fantastic. Thank you for having me again today. It's still cold here, but otherwise it's going great.
It is cold here. You know, this is November, but I'm thinking this is February.
Right. It feels like it.
Exactly right. Well, Peggy, you and I talked last night, and one of the things, folks, that we've talked about on this program from time to time, Rudy and I have, is
it's fantastic.
The fact that Holton Bucks gave us about 10, 11 books to say these are must-read books. And Peggy took it upon herself to get the books and to start reading the books. And one of them really, really spoke to her. And Peggy, I want to have you introduce that book, and then let's just have a little chat about what you found that was just so revealing about that book.
Okay. Well, first of all, before I start with the book, I want to thank you again for today and explain a bit of my artwork behind me, just so that people don't think that, you know, that's my handiwork, because it isn't. That's my grandson's artwork. And typically when I'm working, we talked about my grandson yesterday. Typically when I'm working, I'm facing the artwork, and it's kind of my motivation, gives me a break. When the stress gets hard, I look up at his artwork and makes me smile. So that's the explanation of the artwork behind me. So moving right along. So as Bart said, the Holton Bugs gave us some assignments to read, and I did read them, and I haven't quite finished them all. There were 10 on the list, and I added a few as I read some of them where they referenced other books. But we talked about yesterday why ibüümerang was a choice for me, that I felt it was really a good fit. However, I have to admit that coming from corporate, coming from the job world, coming from the world of titles and organizational place on the ladder, I was still subconsciously shying away from the concept of having a business in network marketing. And I say subconsciously because I don't know that it really hit me. I just knew that I was reluctant to share with too many of my work colleagues right off the bat. But after I read these books from Burke Hedges, and I've actually read 3 of them. One is, and this was on Holton's list, You Can't Steal Second with Your Foot on First. And I'll explain how they're all related. Another one, this Who Stole the American Dream? Genius book. And another genius book, Parable of the Pipeline. Okay. So what he talks about in these 3 books, Parable of the Pipeline just reinforces the concept that we talked about yesterday of when you have an 8-to-5 job, you're carrying a bucket, and when your inability to carry the bucket goes away, then your income also goes away. So the pipeline concept obviously is to get into something that will build a residual income. Hugely valuable. Great conversations. They're all easy to read books. However, when you read Who Stole the American Dream and You Can't Steal Second with Your Foot on First, these books, particularly Who Stole the American Dream, was an absolute revelation for me and totally got me over any concerns about having a business in network marketing. And even though I've heard Holton speak on it, I've heard others speak on network marketing, I know that ibüümerang is different, I still had some of those preconceived notions about network marketing being recruiting, just about recruiting, and you get paid for recruiting. Even though with ibüümerang, we have the complete option to build a business totally based on customers. And I do believe that, and I believed it from the get-go. But I now, because of reading these 2 books, have a pure definition of what is network marketing, what is multi-level marketing. And they're just different. And here's how they're different. If you have any reservations at all, you need to really seriously think about this. Read the books. They're very easy reads. But here's the definition. Here's what makes them different. typical corporations, right? We're all used to them. They have products, they have services, they sell, they have marketing teams. They have marketing teams that they pay, usually very high salaries, usually very large marketing teams. And those teams are responsible for sharing the product and service to market to their consumers, to their buyers, whoever their buyers are. In this industry, companies like ibüümerang, companies like Avon, Mary Kay, right? They chose to have individual entrepreneurs be their marketing team. That's what network marketing is. We are a network of entrepreneurs who use our network of friends, acquaintances, or whoever we reach out to communicate and share the information about the product and service. That's it. It's really very simple. Really very simple. They get ibüümerang, Mary Kay, Avon, all those that are doing this kind of model, business model. They don't have the corporate overhead. So consequently, they compensate those of us who are taking on the heavy lifting of communicating and marketing. And therefore, we get a commission. And the fact that we have multiple levels, multiple ranks, right? Every level gets a commission. It's absolutely genius. I now have all the ammunition that I need to explain, define, and uplift this industry. Where else can you go where, regardless of your tenure, you're paid exactly the same by this exact same model? Where can you go who's someone on your team, based upon their efforts, has the ability to earn more than you? Or you have the ability to earn more than someone who's been in the business longer, totally based on your effort. And for those of you who are women out here, where can you go where women are compensated exactly in the same way as men, or any other minority that may be undervalued in a traditional corporate world? It's absolute genius. Yeah, and there's nothing to fear and nothing to be ashamed of or worried about. It's just different.
You hit so many powerful nuggets there, Peggy, because you and I chatted last night. Let me give some quick shout outs to Thomas, Sage, Sander, Charles for joining us, as well as David, and great comments, David. David kept saying, "Tell us, Peggy, tell us." And Renelle there. And we'll also give a special shout out to Kelly, and happy birthday to the triplets out there today. They're 12 years old. One more
happy birthday.
year, and they're going to be teenagers. We'll be thinking about you, Kelly, when they hit that teenage range. But you said something that's so amazingly powerful for me in the nugget piece. You talk about multi-level marketing. And so many times we hear people say, oh, that's just multi-level marketing. Well, Mr. Bugs made a distinct point in Vegas to say that network marketing is not an industry. It is a delivery system. Mm-hmm. And that's just what you talked about.
Yep.
Multi-level marketing, whether you've come in at the very beginning or you've worked your way up to the first step or all the way up to the highest step, whatever level that is, those are the multi-levels, and we all market together.
That's right. That's right.
Multi-level marketing.
That's absolutely right.
And then the other piece, I mean, Mr. Edwin Haynes just became our first $1 million earner. Does he get paid more than you and me? No.
Well, he does, only because he put more effort so far.
Exactly
but
right.
His compensation plan is the same as yours and mine.
Exactly right. It's the compensation plan that's still saying, hey, Ryan, welcome to you too, and to William as well. It's the same compensation plan. And you hit something really, really crucial. We're talking last night and again this morning. You look at women in the workforce. You look at minorities in the workforce. And I know you have a daughter in education, and I'm going to use the education industry as a prime example. What do they teach you to do? No pun intended, because it is pun intended. What they teach you to do? They teach you to go get more hours, to go get more degrees. And the more hours, the more degrees you have, the more you get paid. Yeah. Does that make you a better teacher?
No.
Not always. No, not at all.
And it may exclude you from jobs, in fact.
Exactly.
And it doesn't guarantee you're going to get more money.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Whereas in network marketing, take that same effort and either in our particular industry, yes, you can go out and recruit some more people, but you also can just give out more iboomerangs and flood the marketplace with people that you know that not only travel, but you know we've got these 2 new verticals coming up with the ride share and the Boom Mobile Cellular. That's how you really build this. You also told me a thing you read in there about the pyramid.
Yes.
Share that with everybody. Hey, Brenda, welcome. Yes.
I will. So I think I may have mentioned this yesterday, or maybe it was one other day. I sort of lose track of time. But in the book, he talks about pyramids, right? And everybody always wants to blame network marketing, calling it pyramid marketing, multi-level marketing, calling it pyramid, that it's just a matter of recruiting people and people get paid for recruiting people, right? So we already have a clear definition of what multi-level marketing really means, okay? But in the book, he talks about the fact that the pyramid is actually the strongest structure. And if you have a $1 bill, turn that $1 bill around to the back. And on the back of the $1 bill is a pyramid. On our government money is a pyramid. And our founding fathers were builders and visionaries of the independence and strength that they wanted to bring to this nation. And what did they choose to put on the back of our money but a pyramid?
Exactly.
It's just, I'm telling you, and every organization, you know, has a pyramid.
Right.
There's a CEO at the top. There are VPs, senior VPs, and the number of people on a particular level usually increases.
Right.
This business is no different.
Right.
It's absolutely no different.
That's right.
At all.
Except
we have the ability for the compensation to be a lot different.
Right. Right. And the difference is, and you mentioned earlier, with the pyramid, if you will, or chart, whatever you want to call it, in our business, you can be down here at the very bottom and you can actually make more money than the person at the very top.
That's exactly right. That's what makes us different.
Just different. And what CEO makes less than a new employee? I don't know any.
None.
And the very first commission check that was cut in iboomerang, the highest paid person was not Holton Bucks.
Right.
It was someone else. The first millionaire is not Holton Bucks. It's someone else.
Yep.
And that's part of that vision, because it's, as you said, it's what puts us together there. And if you think about a pyramid, I used this last week, I think with Rudy, we're talking about it when you mentioned it earlier. You know, think about, you know, a sports team and sports leagues. We just finished the World Series. You know, the college football playoffs is coming up, and then the NFL playoffs, and then the NBA. And you start out with, you know, 64 or 32 or 16 teams, and you play it off. And those 16 become 8, become 4, become 2, become 1. Guess what, folks? That's a pyramid.
Yep. And
so, yeah, the pyramid concept got a bad rap. And there were some people that have probably abused it, and they had pyramid, quote unquote, schemes. Some of those people aren't able to even walk out of behind bars these days because of what they did.
But there are traditional corporations that have had problems. Look at Enron.
Exactly.
Right? They stole people's retirement.
Exactly.
So there's always bad seeds everywhere.
Right.
Everywhere.
Exactly. Exactly. But the thing that I love about what we have here and what you brought out from the book is that even though there may be some bad seeds somewhere, because you are the person planting your own and cultivating your own, those seeds, unless you allow it, have no direct impact on what you do.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And that's what makes this opportunity and this business approach so liberating, because, and empowering.
Yes.
And maybe a little scary, right? If you're not ready for it, you have to get mentally ready for it.
Right.
Because you have to be accountable.
Very much so.
Because you're paid according to the value add and the effort you put in.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So if you're not making what you want to make, then you have to hold yourself accountable to look at the effort you're putting in. And if you're putting in a lot of effort and still not getting anywhere, then you have to look at maybe perhaps tweaking what it is you're doing.
Absolutely.
Because what you're doing isn't working.
Yep, absolutely. Welcome to Lee Morris that just joined us. You know, got a few minutes left. I love the title. You can't get to second with your foot still on first.
Yeah.
What was the takeaway from you for you from that book?
You really have to let go of the traditional perception of security from the job market. Right. Let your mind release yourself from those confines. And go ahead and step away from the base and take a chance to steal second, because that's where the freedom is. That's where the opportunity to build wealth is. That's where the empowerment is. That's where you have control. You're not paid according to time served. Right. On a job that you have no control over when you get a raise, how much you're going to get a raise, if you get a raise, or even if you're employed.
Right. That's right.
Let go of that. You may need to maintain it. I still have a corporate job. You may need to maintain it temporarily, but set your sights and your passions on stealing second. Oh,
I love that. I absolutely love it. It means you were talking. I thought back to when I think it was probably the first time we ever worked together. We both ran a consulting company, and there was a corporation. I won't mention the company's name, but they got real clever with the retirements. And instead of saying to people, you're going to retire and have all that retirement responsibility and financial piece to pay, they said, we're job discontinuing your position. And that had a whole different connotation to it. And so you know, in the corporate world, you don't have a property right to anything. But what did Holton Buggs do here? He created a legacy. So like yourself, when you create this magnificent team, you're destined to create, and the success you're destined to create here, when your grandson Noah gets to be college age, young adult, he can inherit that legacy, and it's just a gift. It's that boomerang you've tossed out that comes back, and that's just a gift to him. He doesn't have to do anything with it except the fact that he accepts it. That's it.
Right. And what makes iboomerang just different, is the fact that the service, the product that we have are services that are not going to go away.
Exactly.
They're not retail products that some other industry is going to suck up. Right. Or that some other company, you know, anything retail is fair game for Amazon.
Exactly.
Truly. They sell Avon products. They sell Pampered Chef products, even on Amway, believe it or not. They do. I have purchased them, and I have an Avon rep, but I purchased off of Amazon because sometimes it's cheaper. But they at least today, are not in the services industry. And people's desire for travel, I don't envision is going to go away.
No, it's not.
People's desire to vacation, I don't think is going to go away. So that makes this particular company even more special.
Absolutely. To finish up, say hey to Rich and to Becca. Rudy has joined us, my brother. Welcome.
Hey, Rudy.
And Charles has a great comment. Charles said, people are hungry for a better life, more time, more money, more freedom, more peace of mind. I think he really hit the nail on the head there. More peace of mind. You don't have to wake up at night worrying if you're going to have a job the next morning, or if there's drama in your office, if that drama is going to affect you, or you're going to be fall victim to it. Peggy, this has been amazing, folks. You know, if you want more information about this, comment to Peggy, comment to me, to anyone here who is sharing this. Tell me more. We will tell you more about iboomerang and what's ahead. Or if you just want to see the technology, type in me, and we'll send you one. Peggy, you have been a total dream. I love having you on. You know, you're my one of my accountability partners and one of my vent partners. And I think you have to have both of those in this. But I mean, I think this relationship we have, it just shows you guys that this is all part of what Holton Bugs has built. This is the type of people you attract. This is the law of attraction on steroids. It truly is.
Absolutely is.
It is.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, until tomorrow, come back and see us. We'll be back on tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern, noon Central. And tomorrow night, Rudy and I back again at 8 Central, 8 Eastern, 7 Central for our opportunity call. Until then, thank you, Peggy. We'll see you on the
Thanks, Bart.
And boom.
Boom.